Hello friends, how are you? Very good morning. I am sure that you must be enjoying psychology. Now today we are talking about a very interesting and very important topic, and that is the illusion. Now illusion is one of the very important area of the perception. In this lecture I will first of all tell you what is perception, what is difference between perception and illusion, and sometimes students get confused between the term illusion, hallucination and delusion. So first of all we will talk about the differences, and then we will talk about what are the major type of the geometrical illusions. So if you see, what is perception? Perception simply means when we are looking something, when our sense organ perceives something and give meaning to that thing, that becomes my perception. You see, if there is a book, I have seen, my eyes have perceived it, message goes to the brain, it is a book, I say it is a book, it is a table, it is a laptop, it is camera, it is a light, this is my perception. Now first of all I will like to clear what is illusion and that difference between all the aspects, and then we will come to the types of the illusion. Though perception helps us to adapt to a complex and ever changing environment, but sometimes it leads to error. Perceptions can also provide false interpretations of sensory information. Such perceptions are called illusions. Illusion is also a perception. It is a part of the perception, but it is a false perception. It is not the actual perception. Suppose in the dark you might have seen a long rope is lying there. We sometimes say it is a snake. Now perception is there. I have seen that rope, but I am giving it meaning of the snake, which is a false perception. So the perceptions can provide false interpretations of sensory information. Sensory information will be there 100%. Without sensory information, there will be no illusion. There will be no illusion. So illusion will be in the presence of the sensory stimulation, but it will be inaccurate. It will be the false perception. It will not be the accurate perception. So an illusion is a false or wrong perception. It differs from the actual state of perceived object. It is the misinterpretation of the correct meaning of the perception. If I give the correct meaning to object, I am committing no mistake. But if I am interpreting that material incorrectly, that misinterpretation will become the illusion. I am giving you definition, very important popular definition, given a Crookes and the Stain in 1991. An illusion is a false perception in that it differs from the actual physical state of the perceived object. What is the physical state of the object? We are misinterpreting. If we are misinterpreting, that becomes the illusion. If I am not misinterpreting, then I am giving the name of the actual object. I am not committing any error. Now I can give you several examples. If you come to the desert, there is a mirage in which if you go to the Jaisalmer, Bardmer, where the sand dunes are there, if you are standing from at very distance, it perceived as the water, layers of water, but there is no water. We are perceiving sand as a water. It is my false perception. Sometime you might have seen on the roads in a summers, sometime this coal tar which is melted because of the heat, that appears as a layers of the water. That is not water. That is a false perception. Now sensation is there. My eyes have seen. I am repeating again and again, but my interpretation is wrong. So an illusion is not a trick. It is no trick. It is a perception. It is perception. While illusion distorts reality, it is away from the reality because it is a false. Illusions may be universal or personal. For example, which I have told you, for example, mirage, two rail strips appears to be joined if perceived from a distance, etc. These are illusions of almost of the universal nature. If go to the railway track, you stand. If you look at the railway tracks, it appears that they are merging as a one. If there is a one line, how the train will run? The railway lines are parallel. They are parallel, but from the distance it appears that they are not parallel, they have merged. It is a universal. It will be misinterpretation, illusion to everybody. Mirage, everybody will see. So, this is called as the universal, which is for the all. Then on the other hand, illusions may be personal also. It may be personal also. For example, a straight pole in the dark may be perceived by some as a ghost, while for the others it may be perceived simply as a pole. Now, suppose there is a pole, there is a rock, you know, a rock pillar is there, and it is very dark, there is no light, very dark. Now, some people say it is a ghost, some people no, it is an electrical pole or it is a piece of the rock. Now, it is varies from person to person. The illusion which will vary from person to person will be called as the personal, and which is for all, as I have told you, mirage, railway line merging as well, appearing merging as one, will be the universal. So, it may be universal, it may be the personal also. So, now we will talk about the difference between perception and illusion. Perception is a cognitive mental process through which we get meaningful knowledge about the persons, objects and incidents. Illusion is also a type of perception through which we give meaning to a stimulus. So, perception and illusion both are mental processes and selective in nature, but there are differences between the two. Both are cognitive process, both are mental process. In both there will be first sensation, and that message will go to the brain via neurons, and that they will give the meaning to that. Both are, I am again saying, a mental process, but still there is difference. What are the differences? The major differences are, number one, in perception we get the actual and correct knowledge, whereas in illusion we give a false meaning to a stimulus. For example, in illusion a rope in the darkness may be perceived as a snake. Now, in perception my interpretation will be correct, clear, whereas in the illusion I will do the wrong perception. That is again mental exercise, but I am perceiving rope as a snake. Number two, the nature of perception is permanent, whereas illusion is temporary and momentary. Now, perception will be permanent. You have seen a chair, I will always say it is a chair, it is a chair, it is a chair, but this time I am perceiving rope as a snake, next time I may not, I may not. Now, I say it is a rope, it is not a snake. So, illusion is always temporary and momentary, whereas perception is a permanent mental process. Number three, practice increasing the accuracy of perception, whereas practice decreases the illusion. If you do the practice, your accuracy in the perception will increase, but if you do the practice, then the intensity or the illusion will be decreased. Why? Because I say it is a rope, I say it is a snake. Now, somebody say, "Arey, no, it is not snake, it is rope." So, I say no, it is a rope, it is a rope. So, I am doing the practice. So, by practice my illusion will eliminate, will fade, will go away, whereas the perception becomes a permanent. Number four, generally perception of normal person is almost same, but illusion may differ from person to person. Now, if you see a permanent object, every person will give a one answer. It is a chair, it is a camera, it is a specs, it is a wristwatch, it is a coat, it is a tie. Everybody will see, whereas illusion will vary from person to person. Some will say, I have given you example, pole. Some will say it is a ghost. Clear? Some will say no, it is a pole. Some will say no, this. Some will say this. So, that confusion is there. So, illusion varies from person to person, whereas this is perception, it is equal for all. Now, basic difference I will tell you, there are three concepts: illusion, hallucination and delusion. Illusions are false perception in the presence of the stimulus. The stimulus is there, but the perception is wrong. That is illusion. What is hallucination? Hallucination is false perception in the absence of stimulus. There is no stimulus at all, no stimulus, absolutely no, but still I am giving meaning to something. That is my hallucination. Now, I am delivering you lecture. You see, suddenly I can see on the walls, the God is coming, the ghosts are there. where the God is on the wall, where the ghost is there. There is a no, stimulus, but still I am perceiving something. I say, somebody, is following me. I am in the class. I am in the class. How one can follow me? So there is a no person at all. There is a no stimulus, but still I give the meaning, that is hallucination. Now, there are false perception in the presence of the stimulus, it is illusion. There are false perception in the absence of stimulus. In other words, there is a no stimulus, but still there is a perception. Hallucination may be, now you have 5 sense organs, 5 sensations. Hallucination may be visual, auditory, olfactory, that means olfactory means smelling, gustatory, that means taste, and tactual, that means touch. There is no stimulus at all. For example, I have said I am, here I am sitting in the classroom, but on the wall I can see my parents, I can see my family. Where is my family in the class? It is visual. It is visual. Whatever the people are talking in my village, I am able to hear. Now, where is the village and where I am in the Jodhpur? Now, it is auditory. It is auditory. I say there is a foul smell. Foul smell. Close the nose. Close the nose. Everybody says there is no foul smell. Now, there is a no foul smell, but I am perceiving a typical smell, that is olfactory. Gustatory, I say my taste of my tongue has been changed. It is very worst. What you have given me? You have given me nothing to eat. But I say that there is a typical taste. Now, no stimulus is there, but I am giving the sensation of the taste. Similarly, tactual. I say some insects are running on my skin. Something is running on my skin, whereas you see my skin is clean, nothing is there. So, 5 sense organs, 5 type of hallucination. In the absence of stimulus, if you are giving perception, that is hallucination. In the presence of stimulus, if you are giving wrong perception, that is the illusion. The third concept is delusions. I am giving delusion because the words are similar, you may not get confused. Delusions are false beliefs which have no logical explanation. No logical explanation, but still it is my belief. I give you example. Hallucination and delusions are the symptoms of schizophrenic patients, paranoia patients, manic depressive patients, those persons who are suffering from psychotic diseases. It is a symptom, whereas illusion is normal phenomenon. Illusion may occur in you and me, but hallucination will not occur in you and me. If it is occurring consistently, that means there is something wrong. I will have to consult a psychiatrist. Now, delusion, false belief. Now, there are various types. I am not teaching you at the moment abnormal psychology, so I will not go detail. I will give only 1 or 2 examples so that the concept may be clear. One of the delusion is called delusion of grandeur. Delusion of grandeur. That means false belief that I am so big shot, I am so big man that government cannot run without me. The Prime Minister of India consults me every moment. Our Finance Minister Sitaraman consulted me every moment while she was preparing the budget. It is a confidential who I am. I am a teacher of psychology, but I say, no, without me the world cannot run. Clear? The President of USA consults me on the issue of Ukraine war. Who I am? I am a teacher. Why the President of USA will consult me? He may talk to Prime Minister Modi, but why he will consult me? Now, this is the delusion of grandeur. False belief, no logic. Similarly, there is a delusion of nihilistic delusion. What is nihilistic delusion? The person says, I am dead. I am dead. Then you ask, what is this, your body? It is a vapors. It is only vapors. As you know, we have the steam, it is vapor. I am dead, my body has gone. Your body is there, you are talking. Now, this is called nihilistic delusions. So, these symptoms are found in the mental patients. So, illusion, false perception in the presence of stimulus, hallucination, again false perception in the absence of stimulus, and delusion, false belief without logic. And what is perception? Sensation with accurate meaning. So, these are the 4 concepts which you must know before coming to the types of the illusion. Now, what are I am talking about the different type of the illusions. Geometrical illusions. Psychologists have explained some illusions based on the lines and angles. These illusions are called geometrical illusions. We know, when I will now show you, I will explain, I will show by the figure that what is the illusion. Now, if we draw different lines and because of the lines are the angles, circles, we get confused. What is this? It appears distorted, it appears longer, it appears shorter lines. Then it is called geometrical illusions. And the important illusions are, first one, Muller-Lyer illusion is one of the very important and popular illusion. This is the most famous, most studied and widely analyzed visual illusion, because we are seeing it, it is a visual. This illusion was given by a German psychologist, Franz Karl Muller-Lyer, in 1889. In Muller-Lyer illusion, there are two lines of equal length. One line is arrow-headed and the other is feather-headed. The arrow-headed line is perceived smaller, shorter than the feather-headed line, though both the lines are equal. Now, I draw 16 centimeter line. Now, one line is arrow-headed, means arrows are inside, shrink inside, and the other line 16 centimeter line, that they are expanded, the feather-headed. Now, if you see both the lines, the arrow-headed lines appear shorter and that other line, feather-headed line, appears longer, though physically both are equal. So, if both are equal, I must say equal, but I say no, it is shorter, it is longer. So, what I am making? I am making false perception in the presence of the lines, in the presence of the stimulus. So, this illusion is called Muller-Lyer. If you might have read, or in the future the course will come psychophysics. When you come to the psychophysics, we will talk about the different techniques, method of limits, method of constant stimuli, and method of average error. Psychophysics is a very important topic given by the Falconer. You see, that is the quantity of the stimulus and your sensation and perception. How much stimulus you can evoke, how much sugar can evoke a sensation of sweetness in me, that is my threshold. So, in method of limits and method of constant stimuli, we calculate absolute Lyman and differential Lyman, whereas in the method of average error, we calculate the errors, and for that errors, Muller-Lyer illusion apparatus is used. It is an instrument. This illusion is used even in the method of average error. Suppose in some examination, if a question comes that in which psychophysics method the Muller-Lyer illusion is used, answer is method of limits, method of constant stimuli, method of average error, and method of all the above method. My answer will be method of average error. So, this illusion is widely studied and popular one, it is called Muller-Lyer illusion. The second is called Ponzo illusion. This illusion was first designed by Mario Pongo in 1911. In this illusion, the upper horizontal line appears longer than the lower horizontal lines, though physically both lines are of the equal size. I have given you earlier in the beginning the example of the railway track. In the railway tracks, for example, even though the two horizontal bars are of the same length, we perceive the upper one as a longer and the lower one as a shorter. Now, if you see the figure, these are the railway lines parallel. Clear? It is not that the railway line where you are standing is wider and then becomes a narrow, then how the train will go? It will derail it will be derailed. Now, but the lines which are farther away, they appear shorter, and which are near to us, they appear longer. Now, this again is a false perception. We should say both are of the equal, but it is a false perception again in the presence of the stimuli. It is an illusion, and this illusion is known by the name as a Ponzo illusion. Next is a Jastrow illusion. This illusion was explained by Joseph Jastrow. It is the name of the scientist which we have worked out. This illusion was explained by Joseph Jastrow and can be understood with a figure given below. Now, in this figure, there are two patterns which are similar. If you look, both are similar, but the upper pattern appears shorter than the pattern which is below to the first, even both are equal. Now, these are two figures. Upper is appearing shorter because it appears shrunk, then the lower is appearing larger. Whereas physically, lengthwise, by the measurement point of view, both are equal. So, again, I am making false perception. In the presence of stimulus, it will be called as the gestro illusion. Then comes the Zollner illusion. Zollner illusion. This illusion is named after German astrophysicist. He was a astrophysicist, John Carl Friedrich Zollner. It is shown in the given figure. When I am explaining, you should also try to relate with a figure which is given in the side of the explanation. In this figure, although all the 11 lines are parallel, but they do not look parallel because of the crossed lines on them. You see, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are total 11 lines. Now, if you look at the darkened by the black part, the black part is crossed. You see, it is crossed. You are looking crossed. So, because of this crossness, these are not appearing as the parallel, because that I can say distraction, that is distracting your perception, and because of that distraction you are making a false perception. So, this type of illusion is called as the Zollner illusion. Then Ehrenhausen illusion. This illusion was studied by Walter Ehrenstein, a German psychologist. He was a German psychologist and he gave one type of the illusion. In this illusion, the inside squares appear to be distorted where all the lines of the square are straight. These are the squares. You see, they are all squares. Because if you look at these lines which I made, now here, because of this line, these circles appear to be distorted as they are not perfect square, whereas they are the perfect square. It is happening because of what? Because of in this illusion, the inside square appears to be distorted where all the lines of the square are straight. Because these lines these 4 lines are distracting you, they are creating problem, so it appears to be not as a perfect square. So, this was about the Ehrenhausen illusions. So, these were some of the important type of the illusions which are caused because of the geometrical figures. Now, the question arises that why illusion occurs? What is the reason for that? Now, there are so many theories to explain this illusion. Now, actually, as a matter of fact, Opel in 1854, he was the first scientist who systematically analyzed the process of illusions. He was the first one who talked about that why the illusion occurs, but he did not give any theory, he just explained. So, we do not give by any name. One explanation of the illusion came, and this theory is named as eye movement theory. Eye movement theory. Now, this theory was given by Over in 1968. Now, what this theory says? You see, come to the Muller layer. In Muller layer, there were 2 lines. One was a arrow headed where the lines were inside, and one was a feather headed. He says that, Over says that when you are perceiving arrow headed line, your eye movements will be, they will not on the expansion mode, they will be on the contraction mode. And when you see the feather headed lines, your eyes will be expanded, they will be on the expansion mode. Because of the feathers, they are outside, I am expanding. Because of this expansion, I am perceiving that line as a longer, at the arrow headed line as a shorter, because of the which factor? Because of the movement of the eyes. So, this theory was named as the eye movement theory. Similarly, you can see, I did not talk about that illusion. if you draw two lines, horizontal and vertical, 4-inch line horizontal and 4-inch line vertical. Now, if you see this line, the horizontal line, which is that will appear shorter than the vertical line. Why is it so? Why that line is appearing shorter and why that is appearing long? Because when you are looking to the horizontal line, the eyeballs will be on the lower side. You will see on the horizontal. When vertical, your eyeballs will go on the upper side. Because of this movement of the eyeball, the perception is changed. I don't say, you see, there are so many theories. If one theory is perfect, then there is no need for the other theories. Every theory has a merit, demerit, but here I am talking only about I am giving you the concept clarity. So, this theory was known as the eye movement theory. The second theory came in by the name empathy theory. Empathy theory, and this theory was given by Lipps in the 1907, and it is also known as the classical theory of the illusion. Now, what this theory says? This theory says it is empathy. You know what is empathy? Feeling oneself into, when we are feeling the problem of the others. In this theory, they say, Lipps says emotions are involved. He says when you are looking to the expanded line, then there is an expansion in the emotions. You are elated. And when you are looking to the embedded, arrow-headed lines, your emotions are, narrowed down. Because of the lowering the emotions, that line appears shorter, and because of the elated emotion, that line appears as a longer, whereas both the lines are equal. So, likewise, you have so many theories which explain why the illusion occurs. So, again, I give you in a nutshell, illusion is a perception, it is not abnormal, it is a normal. It is in the presence of the stimulus, whereas perception is presence of stimulus, but that will be the accurate perception. If I am perceiving rope as a rope, it will be perception. If I am perceiving rope as a snake, it will be the illusion. And hallucination will be false perception. There is no stimulus at all we are perceiving, and delusion is a false belief. So, this was all about the different types of geometrical illusions, difference between perception and illusion, difference between illusion, hallucination and delusion, and different type of the geometrical illusions. This is all about illusions.